Hi, in this video we'll see the best practices for dashboard layout. Mainly, in order to create a dashboard, you need to use some basic functionalities of Excel. There is no function in Excel that can create a dashboard. So you need to use tables, just like our sample, where we have a sales table. This is our database. Then you can work with pivot tables, and the most common working method in the dashboard environment is to use the pivot tables and pivot charts. Also, after that, you can use slicers or even filters in your tables or pivot tables. And finally, it's very important to create your format and to use some formulas like sum or sum if, depends on your needs. The layout is very important for you. Mainly it's that because you need to update it, and the layout need to be easy to update. In our case, let's take a look into the table, because the table it's in the database. Let's try to select the table and check it. As you can see, we have a table for 24 rows, but normally in our days you can have thousands of rows. That's why the dashboard is the best way to summary your figures. Layout should be very simple to read, so try to avoid to have grid lines like that, or let's say different type of text to charge, but avoid charging with many text box. The dashboard can be a good solution. So try to be as simple as you can. In that layout category, should also consider the space between your charts in order to be readable and to define the areas for each KPI. Here we have an update button that normally should update our figures. Let's try to increase the games category in our database, and for that I'm going to increase the sales price for this row from 47 to 3,500, and the COGS will be 2,700. Now when I'm going to dashboard sample, I click update, and here we go. All the data are there, we are updated, and the figures are very fast updated. When you work with dashboards, it's very important to choose the correct colors for each section of your dashboard. For example, let's take our dashboard with COGS and sales area and make it with different colors, just for you to see that when you use many colors, the dashboard can be hard to read or can give you, let's say, difficulties in terms of focus into a different, let's say, region or specific data. That's why it's very important to use colors that can be more readable for your mind, for the end user, and to focus into the data and not to the, let's say, dynamic of the colors, because you can risk to lose the end user interest, and that can normally it happens when you choose too many colors, or when you put the charts one near each other and you try to show different, let's say, KPIs in the same chart, and that can be very hard to read for the end user. That's why in our sample, let's go back, we've created basic colors, a combination of, let's say, blue colors, and here we have just roughly 4 colors in our pie, because if we will put a color for each of these country, we have a risk to have a very specific pie, just like a rainbow, that will give us, especially to our end user, will give us a bad image, a bad feedback, and hard to read. That's why the colors it's important to have them in a warm focus. Keep in mind that a dashboard need to help your end user to focus to a specific data, or to see a visual summary of your big data from your tables. That's why if you give them too many colors, you risk to lose their focus.